Hi, my name's Robin Flynn. I'm a bookkeeper, and today I'm going to show you how I use ClickUp and the super agents inside ClickUp to write emails for me. I have an email draftsman who takes care of it. So let me just jump in. I'm going to show you, I've got a couple of demo tasks. I'll show you how I use it, and then I'll show you how I built my super agent over here. And then you can go through and you might choose to build your own. So the first one I'm going to jump into is this task, which is an email that's been sent into ClickUp, and it's basically saying that you need to do a Stripe verification. So I'm going to say I've done this for my client, and I just want to let my client know that it's been taken care of. Now, before I use the AI super agent, I just want to show you that you can use AI inside ClickUp without a super agent to draft an email. So if you go /AI and go right with AI, I can just say, tell him. So I'm hoping that it will pull out the name. Well, I know it will, but yeah, I just want to show you how it will pull out the name. I don't need to say who it is. So tell him that I've taken care of this. And ClickUp's going to go through and it's come up with a very short email, but it's just, hi Matt, I've taken care of the business verification documents for you. Let me know if there's anything else you need. So that would be quite fine, and I can just paste that below and send that email. But I want to show you what the drafts person will do. So we'll go to email draftsman and say, let him know that I've taken care of this. And now the draftsman will go through this entire task and sort of read the information and then craft an email based on that. It does take a little bit longer. You can see this wheel spinning here, but it's come up with, let me see, it says, hi Matt, thanks for forwarding the Stripe notice about your business verification. I've now taken care of the requested verification on your Stripe account so they can review everything and resume payouts once the checks are complete. If you receive any further requests or notices about this, please feel free to pass them on. A much nicer email, and it's sort of in my voice. I have found that as I've used it more and more, I'm needing to tweak it less. So in the past, I would grab this. I go back and go change this to email, and I paste it in. I put the subject line up here, and then in the past I would sort of add in extra wording or a few extra comments, but I am finding that the more I'm using this, the less I need to do it. So I think it's just sort of learning the way that I speak. So this is a great email, and I would just send this off. And I am finding that I move ahead quicker because rather than thinking in my head what I'm going to write and then writing it, I get the draft, and then initially I was getting the draft and then going, that's pretty good. I used that as a start, but now I'm finding it's just, writing it really well for me, and I'm changing it less. I think that certainly there are, like in Gmail, you can have drafts done for you, but the difference with this is that because it's working from your tasks inside ClickUp, it's getting the information from the task, and so the email response is perhaps more based on what it is that you've been working on, if that makes sense. So in this one, I'm going to assume that Matt is now required to lodge TPARs. So I've got a TPAR task here, and I will just tag my draftsman in here and say, let him know that because of the industry, he now has to lodge TPAR. We will do this. And the email draftsman, there's not a lot of information in this. This is literally just my TPAR template, but it will go through and come up with an email to send to Matt. So it just says, hi Matt, because of the nature of your industry, the ATO now requires you to lodge taxable payments annual report. We'll take care of preparing and lodging this for you, and we'll let you know if we need any further details from you. Just, takes care of it for me, and does a pretty good job of the emails. I'm going to try another one. I just want to see draftsperson. Let him know that his industry requires TPAR to be lodged. Mention the due date. Tell him we will do it. Let's just see what it comes up with here. So just, I guess, depending on what I put in here, the more information that's in this task, the better. But let's just see what this email comes up with. Because of the nature of your industry, the ATO requires you to lodge a taxable payments annual report. The TPAR is due to be lodged with the ATO by the 28th of August for the prior financial year. We'll prepare and lodge a TPAR for you, and we'll let you know. So that's a good one as well. So again, with that, I would just grab this, go back, and put it in an email. So that looks great, and I would just send it off. So let me jump over and show you what the AI agent looks like. Now you can build this out yourself. This looks like a lot of information, but it's really just taken it from the instructions that I've given it. So if you come over to AI and go to new super agent, you can explain what it is that you want. So if I said, I want a super agent to write draft emails for me to send to clients. It will then go through and start building one for me. So you can actually speak to it in, just natural language. So it's come up with this, and it's going to ask me some questions. So what do I want it for? I want it for all kinds of client communication. It's going to think some more, and then what do I want to use? My client workflow lists, use documents with client info, recent email threads. So I'm going to say my workflow lists. And then it wants me to choose which ones. So you go through, explain as much as you can. You don't need to answer these questions. If you just want to keep talking to it, you can do that. I want it to end all emails with kind regards, Robin. So explain that. Got it. We'll do that. A professional tone, vary the tone depending on the client. I'll say that. And just go through. You can finish it whenever you're ready to, and you can always come back and change it. So it's actually building it out for me now. Let me just show you the one that I've got, my super agents. So I have one which a client manuals updater. If you're interested in seeing that, I'm happy to do a video for that. So just leave a comment below saying that you would like to see that video, and if that's helpful, I will certainly record that. That basically, if I'm in a task, I just tag the client manual updater, and it will recommend changes to the client manual. And if I say, yes, that's great, go ahead, it will then go and update my client manual for me. So I find that really handy. And I guess specifically, like with this TPAR one, I could do that here. So if this client was now registered for TPAR, or now required to lodge a TPAR, I would mention my client manual updater so that my client manual is updated. So I've got that one. This one's more specific for my business, which is a cycle change watcher. And this is my email draftsman. So if I click on this, you can see this was all of the information, but if there was something that I wanted to change, if I wanted the subject heading, you know, put the subject heading in bold, it will go through. So I can always come back if you start using it and it's not doing exactly what you want. If it's, yeah, I don't know, finishing the email not well, or if it's too formal, you can just come back and explain what it is that you want. So it's done that for me, and it said, do I want to make that change or no, leave it as it is? So I'm going to say no, leave it as it is. I don't want to change it. But it's as simple as doing that. And I did find that initially I started off with the email draftsman. I started using it, and then I would come back in and say, I want you to change this, I want you to change that. And now it's just running really nicely for me. So hopefully this has been really helpful for you. Certainly if there's any other super agents that you would like me to do a video on, I'm happy to do that. And yeah, I hope that you'll go ahead and give this a go. Oh, just before I go, actually, I just want to mention this is probably a really good one to start with, because it's not going to just run for you and get out of control. You actually need to mention it and then it will run. So, and even if you do that and the email isn't what you want, that's okay. You don't need to use it. So nothing's going to be automatically running for you. You can just give it a go, see whether it works for you, and decide whether or not it's something that you want to move ahead with. So it's probably a really nice one to start with. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you very much for watching.